Have you ever wondered why, despite eating what you believe is a healthy diet, you still wake up with those nagging aches and pains? What if I told you that some of the vegetables you've trusted your whole life might actually be working against your body now that you're over 60? I'm Dr. Lisa, and for over 25 years, I've specialized in nutrition for healthy aging. What I'm about to share with you today changed everything for my patient Martha, a vibrant 68-year-old kindergarten teacher who suddenly found herself struggling to keep up with her grandchildren at the park. I just don't understand it. Martha told me during her first visit, fighting back tears, I eat my vegetables every day. I do everything right, but I feel like my body is betraying me. What Martha didn't realize, and what many of you might not know, is that as we age, our bodies change how they process certain foods. Those same vegetables that nourished you in your 40s and 50s might be silently contributing to your inflammation, joint pain, and even that mental fog you've been experiencing. Today, I'm going to reveal the 4 vegetables that could be sabotaging your health if you're over 60, and the simple, delicious alternatives that can help restore your energy, reduce pain, and bring back that mental clarity you've been missing. This information isn't just theory, it's based on groundbreaking research and the remarkable transformations I've witnessed in hundreds of my patients. Watch until the end, because what you don't know about these common vegetables could be keeping you from enjoying the vibrant, active life you deserve in your golden years. Let me ask you something. Do you find yourself getting unusually tired after lunch? Or perhaps you've noticed that climbing stairs leaves you more winded than it used to. Maybe your joints ache more in the morning, or you can't quite remember where you put your keys as often as you'd like to admit. You are not alone. So many of my patients come to me thinking these symptoms are just normal aging. But here's the truth that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Many of these issues aren't inevitable. They're potentially tied to what you're eating. Emma, a 72-year-old retired librarian, told me she had accepted that her afternoon fatigue was just part of getting older. She would prepare a beautiful lunch salad with all the vegetables she thought were healthy, only to find herself desperate for a nap by 2 p.m. Her doctor had run tests and found nothing concerning just age, he told her. But was it really? Our bodies change as we mature. The digestive enzymes that once efficiently process certain foods decrease. Our gut microbiome, those beneficial bacteria that help us digest food and support our immune system, shifts and becomes more sensitive. And most importantly, our inflammatory response to certain compounds in food becomes more pronounced. This isn't your fault. For decades, we've all been told that all vegetables are good for us, period. But nutrition science has evolved, and we now understand that the relationship between food and our bodies is much more complex, especially after 60. What I discovered through years of research and clinical practice might surprise you. Some of the very vegetables you're eating, because you think they're healthy, might actually be causing inflammation and digestive distress, and even contributing to cognitive decline. The real problem is that you're making poor choices. You're making what you believe are the right choices based on outdated information. Those vegetables in your crisper drawer that you've been faithfully eating might be silently working against your body's natural healing processes. Let me be clear, this isn't about eliminating vegetables from your diet, far from it. It's about identifying which vegetables support your body's changing needs as you age, and which ones might be better left on the grocery store shelf. Now let's talk about the vegetables that can truly transform how you feel day to day. These aren't just good for you. They're specifically beneficial for bodies over 60, targeting the exact challenges your changing physiology presents. First on my list is broccoli, nature's true miracle food for aging bodies. When Martha, my kindergarten teacher patient I mentioned earlier, added just 1 cup of steamed broccoli to her diet, 3 times a week, she noticed her joint pain began to subside within just 2 weeks. This wasn't a coincidence. Broccoli contains a remarkable compound called sulforaphane that actively fights inflammation at the cellular level. Imagine tiny firefighters rushing to put out the inflammatory fires in your joints and tissues. That's essentially what happens when you eat broccoli regularly. A groundbreaking study from Johns Hopkins University found that sulforaphane actually activates a protective protein called NRF2, which shields your cells from oxidative stress, the very process that accelerates aging in your body and brain. I can actually get down on the floor to play with my grandkids now. Martha told me after 3 months I hadn't been able to do that for years. But broccoli isn't just about pain relief. Its high vitamin K content helps maintain bone density, critical for preventing those devastating fractures that can change everything in your later years. And its fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which we now know plays a major role in everything from immunity to mental health. Pro tip to get the most sulforaphane from broccoli: chop it and let it sit for about 40 minutes before gentle steaming. This activates the enzymes that produce this powerful compound. Next on our list is spinach, but not just for the reasons you might think. Yes, spinach is packed with iron and vitamins, but for those over 60, its particular magic lies in its nitrate content. These nitrates are converted in your body to nitric oxide, which helps expand your blood vessels, improving circulation throughout your body, including to your brain. Frank, a 76-year-old former college professor, incorporated spinach smoothies into his morning routine and noticed a remarkable change in his cognitive clarity. "It's like someone turned the lights back on," he told me during his follow-up visit. "I'm thinking more clearly than I have in years." Recent research from Wake Forest University showed that older adults who consumed high nitrate vegetables like spinach demonstrated cerebral blood flow patterns similar to those of much younger people. Essentially, spinach helps ensure your brain receives the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function optimally. Carrots are our third superfood for aging bodies, and they're about much more than eye health, though that benefit remains powerful. The beta-carotene in carrots is converted to vitamin A in your body, supporting not just vision, but also immune function, which naturally declines as we age. What makes carrots particularly valuable for those over 60 is their soluble fiber content. This type of fiber helps manage blood sugar levels, reducing those energy crashes that can leave you feeling depleted by mid-afternoon. My patient Doris, a 65-year-old grandmother of 5, struggled with energy levels that fluctuated wildly throughout the day. "You'd be fine 1 minute and completely exhausted the next," she explained during our first consultation. After adding raw carrots as a daily snack, she found her energy remained much more stable. "It's such a simple change, but it's made such a difference in how I feel every day." Sweet potatoes round out our list of beneficial vegetables. Unlike their problematic cousins, white potatoes, sweet potatoes have a lower glycemic index and are rich in compounds that actually help reduce inflammation rather than promote it. The beautiful orange color of sweet potatoes comes from beta-carotene, which protects your cells from damage. But they also contain unique antioxidants called anthocyanins that have been shown to improve memory and cognitive function in older adults. These vegetables aren't complicated or exotic. They're accessible, affordable, and simple to prepare. And that's the beauty of this approach. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest adjustments to your daily habits. Now let's talk about the vegetables that might be silently working against your health goals. The ones that, despite their healthy reputation, could be contributing to those mysterious symptoms you've been experiencing. First on our list is eggplant. This glossy purple vegetable might look innocent in your ratatouille, but it belongs to the nightshade family, which contains natural compounds called solanine and alkaloids that can trigger inflammation in susceptible individuals, particularly those over 60. Robert, a 71-year-old retired construction worker who came to me with debilitating joint pain, discovered that his beloved eggplant parmesan was contributing significantly to his discomfort. "I was eating it twice a week thinking I was doing something good for myself. He told me I had no idea it could be making my arthritis worse." The problem with nightshades like eggplant is that they contain compounds that can disrupt the integrity of the gut lining in sensitive individuals. This increased intestinal permeability, sometimes called leaky gut, allows partially digested food particles and toxins to enter your bloodstream, triggering an immune response that often manifests as inflammation and joint pain. As we age, our digestive systems naturally become more sensitive to these effects, which is why you might be reacting to eggplant now, even if you've enjoyed it without issues for decades. Green bell peppers are next on our list of problematic vegetables. While all bell peppers contain lectins, proteins that plants produce as a defense mechanism, green peppers contain significantly higher amounts because they're essentially unripe red peppers. These lectins can bind to the cells lining your intestines, potentially damaging the gut barrier and triggering an immune response. For people over 60 whose digestive systems are already more vulnerable, This can translate to bloating, gas, joint pain, and even foggy thinking. My patient Helen, a vibrant 67-year-old who prided herself on her healthy diet, was stunned to discover that the green peppers in her daily salad were contributing to her afternoon brain fog. "I thought I was developing early dementia," she confessed during our consultation. "I was terrified." Within 3 weeks of eliminating green peppers, her thinking cleared substantially. White potatoes, despite being a staple in the American diet, present several problems for those over 60. Their high glycemic index means they can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by crashes that leave you feeling exhausted and foggy. These blood sugar fluctuations are particularly problematic as we age, as our bodies become less efficient at regulating glucose. But the problems with white potatoes don't end there. Like eggplant, they belong to the nightshade family and contain solanine, which can trigger inflammatory responses. They also contain significant amounts of lectins, particularly in the skin, which can disrupt gut health. Perhaps most concerning is the link between high glycemic foods like white potatoes and increased risk of age-related cognitive decline. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who regularly consumed high glycemic foods showed faster rates of cognitive decline compared to those who focused on low glycemic alternatives. The fourth vegetable to approach with caution is conventional corn. While technically a grain, corn is commonly categorized as a vegetable in the American diet. Modern corn has been significantly altered from its original form and now contains proteins that can be difficult for older digestive systems to process. Additionally, unless you're buying organic corn, is one of the most heavily genetically modified crops, often designed to withstand heavy pesticide application. These pesticides may disrupt your gut microbiome, that collection of beneficial bacteria that influences everything from your immune system to your brain health. My patient George, an 82-year-old who prided himself on his good health, was eating corn several times a week. He struggled with persistent digestive issues that affected his quality of life. "I couldn't leave the house some days," he admitted reluctantly. Within weeks of eliminating corn from his diet, his digestive symptoms improved dramatically. I want to be clear, I'm not suggesting these vegetables are unhealthy for everyone. But if you're over 60 and experiencing unexplained inflammation, digestive issues, joint pain, or cognitive concerns, these 4 vegetables might be contributing factors worth investigating. Now that you understand which vegetables might be causing problems, let's talk about practical solutions that you can implement starting today. The good news is that making these changes doesn't have to be complicated or expensive, and the benefits can be truly life-changing. First, let's address eggplant. If you've been enjoying eggplant regularly and suspect it might be contributing to inflammation or joint pain, try substituting zucchini in your favorite recipes. Zucchini has a similar texture when cooked and absorbs flavors beautifully, but without the problematic compounds found in nightshades. Sarah, a 73-year-old patient who loved eggplant parmesan, was thrilled to discover that zucchini parmesan was just as delicious and didn't leave her reaching for pain relievers the next morning. "I honestly can't believe what a difference this simple swap has made," she told me. "My hands don't ache anymore when I wake up." For green bell peppers, the solution is simple: opt for red, yellow, or orange varieties instead. These fully ripened peppers not only contain fewer lectins, but also provide more antioxidants and vitamin C. Their slightly sweeter flavor often makes them more digestible and less likely to cause the digestive distress that green peppers might trigger. White potatoes can be easily replaced with sweet potatoes, which offer more nutrients and cause less dramatic blood sugar fluctuations. Or try cauliflower. It's incredibly versatile and can be mashed, roasted, or even transformed into a pizza crust for a lower glycemic alternative that won't trigger inflammation. James, a 69-year-old with type 2 diabetes, was amazed at how replacing his daily white potato with either sweet potato or cauliflower helps stabilize his blood sugar. "My doctor actually reduced my medication at my last visit," he reported proudly. "He couldn't believe the difference in my numbers." As for corn, consider replacing it with quinoa or millet. These ancient grains provide the satisfying texture you might be looking for, along with protein and fiber that support stable energy levels and gut health. Now, I understand that changing long-established eating habits isn't always easy, That's why I recommend starting with just one swap. Choose the vegetable that you eat most frequently from the caution list and replace it with a friendlier alternative for just 2 weeks. Pay attention to how you feel. You might be surprised at the differences you notice. Margaret, a skeptical 77-year-old who reluctantly agreed to try eliminating nightshades, called me after just 10 days. I thought this was all nonsense, she admitted. But my knees don't hurt for the first time in years. I'm actually going to try square dancing again next week. This journey isn't about deprivation. It's about discovery. It's about finding the foods that work with your unique biology at this stage of life, allowing you to feel your absolute best. The joy of waking up with less pain, thinking more clearly, and having the energy to pursue the activities you love is worth the small adjustments these changes require. I encourage you to start implementing these changes today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or more information. Your body is ready for these supportive changes right now. Remember, every meal is an opportunity to nurture your health and vitality. As we wrap up our time together, I want you to remember something important. Your body is remarkably responsive to positive changes, no matter your age. The small adjustments we've discussed today, swapping problematic vegetables for more supportive alternatives, can lead to significant improvements in how you feel day to day. Think about Martha, who can now get down on the floor to play with her grandchildren again, or Frank, who regained his mental clarity and confidence, or Doris, whose stable energy has allowed her to rediscover her passion for gardening. These aren't miraculous transformations. They're the natural result of giving your body what it truly needs at this stage of life. I've seen these changes in hundreds of my patients, and am confident you can experience similar benefits. Start small, perhaps, with just one of the swaps we discussed today, and pay attention to how your body responds. Be patient with yourself. Healing is a process, not an event. Some people notice changes within days, while for others it might take a few weeks. Remember, this isn't about following a rigid diet or depriving yourself of foods you enjoy. It's about making informed choices that support your unique body and its needs as you continue to grow and thrive in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. I'd love to hear about your experiences as you implement these changes. Which vegetable swap will you try first? Have you noticed certain foods affecting how you feel? Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. You might just help someone else who's experiencing similar challenges. If you found this information valuable, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with friends and family members who might benefit. And be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss next week's video, where I'll be sharing the 3 breakfast mistakes that might be sabotaging your energy levels before your day even begins. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, your later years can and should be some of your best, filled with energy, clarity, and joy. The simple changes we've discussed are powerful steps toward that vibrant future. I'm Dr. Lisa, and I'm here to support you on your journey to optimal health at every age. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You deserve nothing less.